Can I do the can? No. Hello gents, welcome to the first WoT Q&A episode. Doesn't really have an official name yet, so just WoT Q&A for now. Just before we hop into things, I didn't make this clear in the video. For the next episode, if you guys want a question answered in one of these episodes, do be sure to go and ask it over at the Ask FM page, because that is something I want to do specifically for this video. So if you just want to ask a question that I can just answer instantly, then just ask it standardly on YouTube, or if you want me to cover something in depth in one of these videos so that we can all learn about it, if you think it's a really good question, ask it over at Ask FM. Just click the link, I'll put in the description, and then you get a box here, so you can type things. You can type many things and then ask that question, and I'll be able to answer it if you have an account, evidently. I did not know that, but yeah, you can just make an account over there and ask me questions, and it'll be a much better way of doing things because it's all formulated and cool and designed for that stuff. Anyway, let's just get into things and answer some questions of you all, shall we? Okay. Scott Caldwell says, can you play a standard account up to tier 10 without using gold or a premium account and still keep 60% wins or above? Well, yes. Obviously, statistically, you can sit on your ass at the back of the game, the back of the map, and get 100% wins. It would just be very, very unlikely. What I think this is getting at, it entirely depends on what you mean. With a standard account without using gold or premium, obviously you can purchase premium rounds for credits now. So if you were careful with your credit farming, played a lot of tier 5 to 7 vehicles to make money, and only fire premium shells very sparingly, then you could still finance that on a standard account. And still make progress in the game as well. Would be very difficult, however. But what you should be aware of is that premium shells are not essential to playing this game. What they allow you to do is expand the amount of engagements you can get into. So, for example, the thing about if premium rounds were taken out of the game, personally, I don't think you get mouses bouncing 10,000 damage, mouses bouncing 15,000 damage, E100s being rock solid. You wouldn't get that. People would find different and better ways of outplaying those vehicles, and it would turn it into a higher skill cap game, in my opinion. However, people wouldn't just sit in front of those tanks firing their standard ammo going, I can't pen him, because people like me and people who know about the game will just find other ways they'll outflank. It's about the ease of the engagement. That's what premium shells are about to me. So yes, you could do it, but it would be more difficult. It would be significantly more difficult. Do I think I could do it? Yes, because my playstyle relies more on my outthinking the enemy rather than just heat spamming them to death for the most part. Let's see what Peter Viz says. Of course you can, right? Tier 5 tanks like KV1, Tier 7 for money. Yeah, Tier 5 to 7 is a good way to go. Buy one Tier 8 medium tank, anything with 90mm cheap ammo, anti-CD. Well, this is kind of irrelevant if you're not going to spend gold or money. Buy a little gold, again, irrelevant. Sometimes wargaming admissions, you can earn premium with True. That's something to watch out for as well. Watch a lot of this channel. Hey, thanks! Green Baby, these games and Circle stream. I learned to play water tanks that way, 51% win rate, 1,250 W8. 4 or 5k matches, not the best, but bouncing fast at 4k, 5k, that is good. Unicorn average most of the time. Well done to you, Peter. Never said Scott then. Okay, next question. Oh, 6 questions, okay. How the hell do I play the T28 Prototype? Good bloody question. Map locations, I should be an exception. I had some good responses of people in comments, but it's not as explained as the analysis video of you. Okay, well, the T28, what you gotta bear in mind is that, let's look in Tank Inspector, shall we? Let's have a more detailed look. T28 is, short of the actual T28, the Prototype has probably the best gun at tier 8 on any tank in the game. It's the best gun at tier 8 if you don't count the T28. So, the thing about this tank is you want to get it into the fight. But the thing about this tank is it's so bloody slow that you can't get into the fight. I mean, top speed of 18, is it 18 or is that too ambitious? Whether mobility. 18 fronts of lead. Traverse speed of 20. What you do need to be aware of as well is that when you're being outflanked by a light tank, the turret of this vehicle does not turn all the way around. As you can see here, it stops around here. Can't point over the back of the vehicle. That's something you got to bear in mind as well. But be aware that this tank, like most American vehicles, has good gun depression, 10 degrees, so you want to use that to your advantage. Work ridge lines, and also, however obsolete you think this might be, wiggle your turret in this tank. After you fired, before you fired, if you hold down, if you think someone is aiming at you, wiggle your turret, because the cheeks of this tank are weak points. I'm not gonna trust the armor profile. Call me crazy. Okay, the cheeks of the T28 Prototype are weak spots. People will aim at them. You will be easily penned in this area, but the gun mantlet is thick as nails on this vehicle. So by doing that, by making a tiny little movement with the poor traverse speed on the hull and the turret of this vehicle, you can actually eat a lot of shells that would previously append your armor. So make sure to wiggle your turret in this vehicle as well, and I would suggest, if you're top tier, get in there, harass your enemy. Do not camp at the back of the map, because you're wasting the potential of this gun, because no one intelligent is going to stay out in front of it. So you want to be able to push the tempo in a combat situation which you can dictate. Important thing in this kind of vehicle that can't keep up if it's outflanked by a freaking E100 is you have to dictate the pace of the combat with the enemy, which means either being a hold down or being with your team. Those are the two main ways of doing it. You can be hold down, working the ridge line, or third way is by being above your enemy. That's a fantastic way of dictating the pace of the combat. So that'll be my advice for the T28. Second question, how should I play the Mutz? Off the bat, you probably shouldn't. It's significantly underwhelming. I myself have not played the Mutz and have no intention to. Let me have a quick look at the vehicle and see if I can get any intel on it. As far as I know, hull armor pretty underwhelming. Yep, really bad. Gun mantlet might do something for you, but a lot of holes in it. Cupola, I imagine it's got 10 degrees of gun depression. Yep, appalling DPM. Well, it's not awful, but pen is damn good. Okay, how's the accuracy? The accuracy, 0.25 it looks like. Okay, I'm trying to put 2.20. Okay. 600 horsepower, traverse speed, speed limitations 50. Okay, what I would suggest is play it much like you would a Type 59 Patton, if you've seen any gameplay of that tank. You want to be working ridge lines, be just harassing, try and be... I might suggest, with this vehicle, take it into a heavy tank engagement, perhaps think of it a bit like a Centurion Mark 1, which is not really a medium, it's more of a versatile heavy. And the reason why I say that, despite you not having any armor, is because your gun rate of fire and your DPM is far too mediocre to be engaging enemy mediums unless you're in a wolf pack situation, but your pen is damn good, and that'll trouble enemy heavies at tier 8 and tier 9, to be honest. 212 in your premium, I imagine it's APCR, yep. 259, that is damn good, besting the super pushing for tier 8 premium pen. Damn impressive, that. So, if you can get into a situation where you're just sort of leeching off your heavies with that 10 degrees of gun depression, I'm visualizing the hill on Himmelsdorf at this point. Just sort of wait until someone fires, poke up, use that pen, just farm some damage, just support the engagement, and wait for a good opportunity to use this tank. 17 horsepower per ton is not awful. I mean, it's not CDC, but it's not awful. 45 degrees a second traverse is damn good, as is 50 and 20. So it seems like this tank is a fairly mobile vehicle, but you certainly don't want to overcommit. 1,300 hit points is not a great deal. So I'd say cautious playstyle. Of course, it always depends on the map, but that would be my recommendation for the Mutz. Bear in mind, I haven't played it. I could be completely talking out my ass, and feel free to correct me in the comments if I am. How does it feel to have 1k subs at the very moment of this comment? To be quite honest with you, mate, I have no idea, because I got 990. That is, I can laugh about it, that's depressing to me, but I don't want to lower the tone of this. I want to keep the speed up, get through as many of these as I can. But I don't like milestones. I've done competitions, but that's just because I feel like you guys deserve something back, and I really want to give you something cool. But milestones, and in terms of numbers, that really doesn't mean anything more to me than the fact that, okay, I can actually do this, maybe I can make money off it, maybe I can do what I love, because I have a certain number. You know, that's all it means to me, is the fact that I can actually keep doing this because I love it, and it's not like, oh, I have this number, I'm proud of that, you know, it's the support, it's the comments, it's the likes, it's the viewer engagement, it's when you drop in on Twitch and say hi, that's what makes me feel about YouTube, and Twitch, so... yeah, that would be my answer to that. Where do I get such an awesome hat? I think I got this at Costa Rica. Or it may have been in Greece. I'm not sure. So, yeah, somewhere tropical. Just go into some kind of wooden kind of parlor thing and have a very enthusiastic black guy say your hats. And then you'll get a hat. What time do I stream? Generally about now. So 3 until 5 UK time. So it'll be yeah, 3 until 5 UK time is about when I start, depending on my internet at the moment. And I usually go for 3 or 4 hours, but I never do a schedule because I suffer from insomnia, and I can't guarantee that I'm gonna be up to stream for you, so I don't put down the schedule because I don't want to let you guys down. Why aren't I in QSF anymore? Just a Twitch page, but in the vids you're in a different clan. Yeah, myself and Jed Egg, we went to do the Domination and Rampage game modes, which, God, they're the bane of my life, because we wanted the T28 medium. I mean, who doesn't want that, right? And we rigged the absolute fudge out of them. I mean, I'm not going to mention any other names than us two, because I don't want to implicate anyone, or, you know. But yeah, we would go into a corner and we would just bounce a load of shells off of one another. Now, I'm not trying to justify my actions, because I'm gonna live with, and I'm gonna man up to the guilt that I feel for letting QSF and that community down, because that was kind of really shitty of me, to be honest. But what I will say is that the only reason that I did that was because no one cared. Literally, you just walk in, you'd see bloody Fame and F-15 just sat in the corner just having, and they butt sex with platoons and just doing missions. Now I got a T28 medium. Like, and we were just like, that looks so much easier than this shiz. Yes, Wargaming designed such a fantastic game mode there, doesn't it? I mean, it's not like people play like idiots anyway in random game modes. Because could you imagine what a game mode would be like if those idiots that just YOLO'd in and really screwed you over by being so idiotic were able to really spawn? Oh, God. Oh, that's such a terrible idea. No one would even ever consider making a game mode like that. Yeah, so I have no respect for the game mode, number one, and two, it didn't count for stats, doesn't count for WN8, doesn't count for win rate, three, no one cares. Just saying. It's Call of Duty in World of Tanks. Good idea. Well, I'm glad you think so, Peter. When did I meet Jed Egg and how? Now, that's a story. Okay, so before I was in QSF, I was in EUTD, which was a clan that no one has ever heard of, and I was just in it for the sake of being in it. And then, one day, one faithful night, I played the game on steps, and I was in my ST1. And I went to the heavy tank corner, and there, on the enemy team, was Mr. Jed Egg, in his M103. And while my team sucked and died and YOLO'd, and completely left me to die, me and Jed Egg were just punching the absolute snot out of each other. And unfortunately for me, Jed Egg was competent. And there's really not much that you can do in an ST1 against a competent M103 when you're alone. If I had had heavy tank support like he did, then I might have won, just saying. But he was sat there with like an Object 704 just sat up his ass so I couldn't face hug him. And he was just coming around the corner, like whenever I fired, he would just sit there saying, I stole fire, and just shoot me again. So yeah, he kicked my ass in the initial engagement. And then we started complimenting each other and enjoying the fact that for once in this game, we had finally had a legitimate heavy tank brawl that we really enjoyed, in which neither participant got shat on by Artie, no one interfered, no one fired gold. It was just like skill, like this fight lasted for like 3 or 4 minutes, with just me and Jed Egg just slugging it out with each other. And afterwards, while my burning neck was just smouldering in the dirt, me and Jed Egg started talking in chat, and the main topic of conversation was how retarded my team was. And so we kind of bonded over the shared experience of retarded teams. So I've always been saying, WoT Tanks teams, bringing people together since 2000. But yeah, we decided to platoon, and we discovered that our playstyles really were in line with one another. And it was about, I don't know, we played like 5 games, and I suddenly said, hey, you're in QSF! And like literally it was just like the light, the gates of heaven opened, the light just dawned on me. I was like, oh! And so yeah, he said, yeah, you should join. So I went, okay. How do I do that? And he told me how to join QSF, and I joined QSF, and I made videos, and then I streamed. So Jed Egg's basically the reason that I exist as a YouTuber and a streamer. So thank Jed Egg, everyone! Yay! Okay, let us move on. How old are you? And the second question, like you play by 113 heavy tank. I will work that out in a minute. No! Okay, How old am I? I think I am 20. I think. I'm really bad at this due to being autistic. I don't know dates or ages or anything. But yeah, I believe I am 20 years of age as I'm speaking. Second question, like you play by 113 Heavy Tank. Do I like the 113? Yeah, I think it's novel, and especially after the buff, putting its rate of fire up to 6 grams per minute. I think it's damn competitive. I really do like it as just a medium. And if you're asking how you play it, then you should play it like a medium tank with vert stabs and glamour and vents or optics, I would say. And you want to fight enemy medium tanks because you got 2,300 hit points. You have an incredibly mobile vehicle with a frontal armor that still is competitive in the heavy department, and you can keep up with mediums. Admittedly, most tier 10 heavies will get schooled by a tier 10 medium. Not the case with the 113 because it can keep its frontal armor to a medium tank. The medium hasn't got the option of just engaging auto aim and blasting at your side armor because the traverse speed and mobility of the 113 is going to hassle them. I'll tell you, it's something every tier 10 medium tank should be terrified of, is getting attacked aggressively by a good 113 player, because they will facehug you, they will harass you, and they will kick your ass. And that's something that's a quality that's not found on any other tier 10 heavy. Even the 50B, it will run out of clip potential. It's like the 113 is just consistent, it can kick the ass of tier 10 medium tank, which is just such a satisfying feeling to do in a tier 10 heavy. Okay, how easy or hard was the whole YouTube Q+A? I would love to be overly dramatic and say it was the hardest thing I've done in my life, but it wasn't, because my life has been filled with some really deep that I've had to go through. So I won't delve into that now. Ellie, you can ask about it on the Q&A too, if we do another one of these, if you want to. But the hardest part about it was going by day to day in terms of when the channel was more stagnant. And to be honest, I don't regret those times. I'm not going to look back and say, oh, I wish I had gone to 1 million subscribers in the first year, because I don't. I feel like the content I was creating back then was not deserved of recognition, and I feel like that time when I had 38, 50 subscribers was the time that I tried the hardest, that I grew the most as a YouTuber, that I started adapting my content and bringing it into a position where I really feel comfortable and proud of it, which is where I'm at now. I feel like right now I'm making content that I can really feel proud of and that you guys will enjoy as well. So yeah, I mean, the most difficult thing is obviously getting dislikes and losing subscribers, because I check it, I would say every kind of hour of every day I check to see how the YouTube channel is doing, because it matters that much to me. And when I do lose a subscriber or I get a dislike, it hurts. But it also encourages me to keep going, to find out why someone left a dislike and to make the content better. So yeah, there's that. Okay, the screen duplicated. Yeah, that's my OBS software, and that's onto it. Can I do the D's Nuts Act? I am going to look that up. I will be right back.
Oh, cause some came in the mail today. These nuts. Got him! Got him!
Okay. I will do my best. Okay, Ian, do you think you should do a day where you platoon with subs of followers in WoT Tanks? I kind kind of do that already occasionally, but I don't have a specific day set aside for it. Perhaps I should. I don't know. It's a certain amount of... I mean, the reason why I don't platoon with new people that often is because I naturally, as an autistic person, I don't like to. I don't like talking with new people. That is difficult for me because I don't know what to say or what not to say, and that freaks me out. It weirds me out, and that's basically why I don't platoon with a lot of people. But that said, the whole point of YouTube for me is to work on overcoming that and to adapt. So yeah, maybe it's certainly something I'll consider. Do you think WoT the tanks is heading in the right direction with RT and OP tanks? I think the fact that they've had a meeting with the community contributors shows a lot of promise in the fact they are actually listening, because if they weren't, they wouldn't have had that meeting in the first place. So I do think that it is moving in the right direction. I love the fact that Armored Warfare is putting so much pressure on Wargaming to make that game better. I think that can only mean good things for Wargaming's game. And yeah, I absolutely think it's there are going to be good things coming in the future. Okay, what are my expectations for the future of both WoT the Tanks and the channel? I don't know. WoT the Tanks a bit uncertain in terms of longevity. I mean, it's got a solid basis. I mean, I don't think humanity's admiration for tank warfare and tanks as amazing feats of engineering is ever going to go out the window. That's just my personal opinion. I think in years to come, we'll still be looking back at the history books and saying, God damn, that's cool. And so I don't think WoT the Tanks is going to die out anytime soon, but it's in terms of whether the audience will still be there to the level that it is now, or whether that will dry up. And I will have to be adapting my content, perhaps moving to Armored Warfare in a couple of years if it goes that way. But for now, making cinematics is something that I'm really excited about, and hopefully it's something I can do more on the channel and perhaps more professionally in the future, because obviously with me, just me as an editor, I really cannot put out that many cinematics of WoT the Tanks because they are just that difficult to make and they take so much work. Like with episode 5 with Jingles, that took a whole month to edit and that was 12 minutes. So yeah, I hope to do more. Hopefully when it gets a bigger audience, I can start actually hiring people to animate and to do lots of things for the channel. So I really hope to be making some new and cool and stylized content in the future. Any tips for credit grinding without tier 8 premiums? I'd say tier 5 to 7 is your bingo land with making money. Probably more tier 5 to 6. There was recommendations earlier. T67 is really good. I've also found that tier 7 light tanks are really damn good at making money if you're good in them. If you are a reasonably good player, try the T28. I always find myself making kind of 30,000, 40,000 in that tank if I don't fire any of my heat, which I don't often need to due to the niftiness of the T71. So yeah, 5 to 6 or tier 7 light tanks for me are the way to go. And just grind out dem credits and look out for those missions where you can get some premium time. And also make sure to set some time aside to get the premium tanks that are occasionally on offer if you can. Any tips for... Oh, I just made that. Dope. What inspired you to do videos? Tell you what, I will put a link in the description to my first ever YouTube video. And that is basically what inspired me to do YouTube, because I looked back at it as I was recording it for lols and I thought, God damn, that's funny. And so... yeah, it was the fact that I thought that I really enjoyed our gameplay and I wanted to share it with others. That's basically the foundation for the channel, and recently it's adapted into something that I've really committed to, and something that I can rely on for both self-esteem and getting by day to day. I think it's become a lot more than I ever intended it to. I thought originally it was just going to be kind of a diary of gaming for me to look back on, but it is become so much more than that, and I have you guys to thank for that. Can I do the can? No. Last question from Zeke. Hey, your replay was nice, Zeke. Will there be any subscriber contests in the near future? I do hope to be running one. Stuff's a bit complicated at the moment. I've got emails to send, voice actors to hire, and people to organise, and obviously streams and videos, and we're still moving house, the internet's still messed up, but I hope to organise one soon. At the moment, I just, honestly, I don't think I have time to look through a lot of replays that I would undoubtedly get sent in for that, so I want to leave it until a moment where I feel like I can give every replay the attention it deserves, because I don't want to be watching replays on kind of 4 times speed, and people losing out on games that were really good because I don't have the time to pay attention to them. So, yeah, hopefully, but I would say not any time in the next kind of 2-3 weeks, most likely a month from now is when you're looking at a competition. But, hell, I might do some more giveaways on stream at some point, because they're easier to manage, so do be sure to follow the Twitch page and look forward to that as well. Well, gentlemen, that was my last question. So, hopefully you've enjoyed this new style of video. I think it's a really good thing to do, because we can all learn something from these videos about WoT Tanks, and make sure to feed me more questions on ask.fm. Go over there, leave your questions, and next episode I will answer all the questions that are left over there in great detail, much like I've done here, and hopefully you'll enjoy that as well. And until next time, gentlemen, farewell. What? What? How is that a thing? Now I can focus on my gameplay. Jed Egg! I will...
Violated #1 rule.
Oh, there he is.
He's camping.
Get in.